What if I told you compounding interest isn't always a bad thing? I know you're questioning right now. You're thinking, well, this isn't a video to talk about taxes. This is a video to talk about your life. Something that I was just thinking about as I'm at the laundromat, just contemplating, is compounding interest. How building habits can really just stack up and start translating and start putting you forth on a certain direction, on a certain path, right? I think about it. So many moments I was so locked in on something. So many moments I have been so unlocked. But it's not like I wasn't disciplined in those moments where I was quote unquote unlocked. It's just I disciplined myself to do the wrong things. For example, I at once was playing college football. I was a red shirt at this time. I was literally waking up at 4:30 and hitting our first meetings at 5:45. I was in the room at 5:40, and then we had another meeting, and then practice, and then lift, and then I worked from 11 to 8 on the days that I didn't have in-person classes. I had 2 days where I had three classes in person. I had 2 days where I didn't have classes, excluding Friday. So on those other 2 days, I literally was getting out of lift at like 10. I would quickly change, shower, whatever I had to do. Sometimes I didn't even have time to shower, honestly, and just bounce straight to work and work 11 to 8. And then after 8, I was still be spending time with, doing other things. I was in a relationship at the point, yada, yada. You get the point. So literally, I was just busy from like waking up at 4:30 to like 10. And then I would be going to bed at 11 and 12 and still getting up at 4:30, right? So what does this mean, right? Where the heck am I going with this? Well, I did it one day, it was hard. I did it 2 days, did it 3 days, and then I get in a system. And then at some point, you compound so much interest that just like credit cards, it's like, dang, how am I going to pay this off? And then it's like, it gets unmanageable, except the opposite. It gets so manageable that you get so stuck in a cycle that it just feels normal, that you don't think about it no more, that it's not a struggle, that it's just your life, right? Same thing with, I was locked in reading 10, 15 pages a night. I was practicing editing. I was hitting the gym. And then all it took was one night to not read. Then 2 nights I didn't read. Then 3 nights I didn't read. And then I stopped doing my Khan Academy course. And then next thing you know, I haven't been reading, doing my course, haven't been practicing my Spanish for 15 minutes a day, yada, yada. And I'm just whatever, right? It's not just a lack of discipline. It's the fact that I discipline myself to come home and want to doom scroll. And then after that, I do hit the toilet and take a dump, and then I do this and then I do that, and I've just built a new routine, and I let that compound interest start stacking a little bit to the point where it gets quote unquote unmanageable, like a credit card. And then it's like, dang, now it's hard to go back and reprogram and do the other things, right? So what I'm saying essentially is compounding interest can be a good thing if you use it to build good habits. You have to stack with 1%, 2%, 3%, all the way up until you get to a high interest rate, quote unquote. And I'm obviously speaking in metaphoric terms here, but once you start stacking that compound interest and get to a high number, then you're just locked in. Then you just built that discipline, that habit, that routine, and you're in phase, right? But sometimes we get out of phase, and I've been in so many different phases, and it's like, I'm like, how the heck was I working 10 hours, 12 hours a day in sales, and it was just nothing at some point. Where the point, and now it's like I work an 8-hour shift at a job, and it's like, ugh, but it's because I built habits, I built interests, and it got to a point where it was nothing, right? So basically what I'm saying is just build routine, build habits, build discipline, let that interest stack, and just know that once you lose that, then it starts going back down to zero. And then you will start building in the opposite way if you allow yourself to. So I'm going to get back to reading. I'm going to get back to practicing my Spanish, getting back to locking in, getting back to being focused. And I'm going to build that routine again. And I'm really going to stack this interest this time until that is like through the roof, until it's 100%, until there's literally no going back to bad habits. There's going to be nothing else but that routine. So use that compound interest to build good habits, build routines, and lock the heck in and find your breakthrough and take it to the next level.